I brainwashed myself to success by adopting the experimenter's mindset. The experimenter is someone who's willing to get it wrong. The experimenter is someone who's willing to take action without knowing what will happen, without knowing the outcomes, is willing to take action without knowing if it's going to work out, if it's going to go the way they want it to. Stepping into the unknown, taking messy action. The experimenter is someone who's willing to look like a newbie, to look like they don't have it all figured out, to look like they're trying. The experimenter is willing to learn through the action they take. And when I adopted this mindset, it's like every shackle and handcuff I had mentally imprisoned myself with melted away over time, because I realized that this is the way I achieve the success that I want. And why the experimenter's mindset has a particularly special place in my heart is because I hold both a bachelor's and a master's in science. Bachelor's in biochemistry, master's in food science. And so inner me loves and leans into the idea of being an experimenter, a scientist, and taking that mindset that you use in the laboratory and applying it to real life. And although I'm not in STEM professionally, I'm still a scientist in my day-to-day, because I get paid by a corporate America publicly traded company to dissect the science of human performance, to dissect the science of how to help their sales teams make more money. The field is called sales enablement, if you're curious, but that is besides the point of this video. How does the experimenter's mindset set you free? What does it set you free from, and how to apply it in your life? Let me ask you, what do you want? What goals are you focused on right now? What things do you just wish you could accelerate the timeline on and have? Is it a certain amount of money in your bank account? Is it your ideal relationship? Is it a certain level of health? A body level of fitness? Is it to be happier, to feel more alive and joyous in your life? What do you want? Just take a moment and think, what do you want? And let me explain how the experimenter's mindset is literally the thing that will get you what you want over time. If you want a different body, a different fitness level, you must experiment with different workout styles, different food types, different sleeping habits. You have to experiment with new habits to get to said new fitness level. If you want different amount of relationships in your life, friendships, love relationships, you have to experiment with meeting new people in different settings, in different environments. You have to experiment with sparking up conversation and following through on friendships and doing and going to new experiences. If you want a new level of happiness in your life, you have to experiment with new identities. You have to experiment with dropping old labels. If you always say, I am just blank way, I've always been this way, it's just who I am, you will stay stuck. You will stay exactly who you are. And so you must experiment with new hats and say, you know what? I've historically been ... way, but I don't have to remain that way. I'm allowed to. I get to experiment with new identities, new ways of perceiving situations, and that's the way I will make progress. If you want a new level of money in your bank account, you have to experiment with different ways of thinking and perceiving your reality, and ask yourself, how would the person making more money or having the better job, higher title, whatever it is, how would they think? How would they approach things? What actions would they do? You know what? They probably would have the balls to reach out and apply to this new job, to publicly post their thought leadership online so that others can see them and opportunities can be attracted to them. That next version of you does different things than you do today. And in order to start, the easiest way to start is simply adopting the experimenter's mindset. To learn by doing, learn through taking actions, and that's ultimately how you speed up time and quantum leap into this new reality that you so desire and so much seek. But you know what? The one thing about the experimenter, and boy, if you are a fellow scientist, you can contest to this, you're willing to get it wrong. Science is no fast process. It is not for the faint of heart, because you have to be willing to test again and again and again, and have failed experiment after excuse me. You have to be willing to have failed experiment after failed experiment, and results not going the way you think that they're going to go. But that's the science, that's the magic, and that's the game of it all. Because failure is feedback, obstacles are opportunity, mistakes are maps to mastery, and learning is just lessons. Or in opposite, lessons are learnings, and that in and of itself holds value. And the experimenter eats that up. They're like, yes, I get to learn, I get to skill stack. That's the whole game, and that's the whole point. And that's why when you adopt the experimenter's mindset, you set yourself free, because you are no longer the winner. You are no longer the perfectionist. You are no longer the straight A student. You are no longer the know-it-all. You are no longer tethered to the titles you do or do not have, because the experimenter is the one who ultimately wins, because they keep playing the game. They stay in the game. They are the man in the arena. That is the one who gets the credit. That's the one who ultimately wins. And if someone told me that sooner, I think things would have turned out a little differently. But nonetheless, it's never too late to adopt the experimenter's mindset. So what to do now? I want you to do 3 things. Number 1, catch yourself. Please catch yourself when you find yourself saying, I am statements. I am always late. I am unfit. I am an overeater. I am an obsessive snacker. I am poor. I am broke. I am an idiot. I am stupid. I am slow. I am a failure. I can't do this. I am just miserable. I can't see things in a positive light. I am a drag. I'm a bore. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever I am statements you say, please catch yourself and simply say, you know what? I've historically been ... way, but I'm willing to experiment with a new way. I'm willing to experiment with a different way of thinking and seeing things. And of course it's going to feel uncomfortable. Of course it's going to feel odd. Of course it's, quote, not going to feel like you, because it's new, because you're experimenting. But you have to let yourself sit in the Like, sit in that discomfort, be uncomfortable for however long it takes, because that is what the experimenter does. That is how you learn. That is how you transform, because you're applying. Apply, do, act. That's what the experimenter does. Now, that's catching yourself. So you're going to catch yourself and you're just going to relabel the statements, okay? And you're going to remind yourself that you are the experimenter. Then you are going to do what every good scientist and every good experimenter does. You're going to try more than once. You're not going to give it one go and give up. You're not going to have 2 days of motivation and give up. The experimenter, the definition of good science is repeatable results. Results that you keep replicating over time, even if you get it right once, twice, 3 times, etc. You have to show that these results can be repeated over and over again and still reap rewards. And like I said before, you have to be willing to get it wrong, to mess up, to stumble, to look bad, to feel bad, to be uncomfortable, to feel uncomfortable. You must be willing to do that, because that's what the experimenter does. And you also don't get any relevant data points if you only do something once. If you try and it doesn't work, you go, well, see, it's not for me. I'm just this way. I can't change. It's impossible. La 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 la. That is the definition of bad science. You have to repeat, and pivot, iterate with every bit of feedback that you get. Pivot, iterate, try again, and that is the definition of good science. So don't you dare just try once and then tell me it didn't work. And the third point is, let me stop for this. I am a real human on the other side of this screen. I'm right here. Please talk to me. I want to talk to you. I am just figuring all of this out myself. I am experimenting too, and I want us to share together. I want us to remember that we are humans on this world, this planet, and we're here to support each other, and that's what it is all about. So please do share your experiments in the comments. Message me, talk to me, find me. I am here to support you, and you are here to support me, because we are capable. We are so capable, okay? Now, I gotta go enjoy the rest of this beautiful sunset walk. It's almost 9 p.m., which is absolutely incredible on a rainy summer's day in New York City, and this is the High Line on the west side. So I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this cool, humid summer's evening, and I want you to start thinking about what you're going to experiment with and how you're going to put the hat on of the experimenter's mindset. And until next time, much love, much health, and much wealth.